lawn is just pummy. I put the lawn on that, and Irene hauled the dirt.
Wow.
And put on that.
Where'd you haul the dirt from?
Down on the river.
Wow.
And leveled it out and planted the grass.
You planted the seed, huh?
Irene's daddy and her sister was living there whenever we got out here in 1939, and they had just moved in.
Which sister?
Irene's oldest sister.
What was her name though?
Esther.
Esther.
And there, all these ditches, all these water lines and everything they was ditches all over the place when I got here. There was water in the house, and it was all done by hand.
Well, like you pump?
No.
Oh,
all
ditches
the ditches
was
dug by hand.
That's a lot of work.
Yeah.
I've dug ditches before. Wow.
And it was nothing but ditches and piles of pumping.
Wow. Evelyn said that there was bear around here when she first came.
There was. I'll show you a tree down here that they was burying last year. And they called the game commission.
Ray, stand back just a little bit. Thanks.
They called the game commission and asked them what to do about it. That the little old bear was up the tree, and the game commission says nothing we can do about it. Says if everybody will just go home and forget about it, in the morning he won't be there. And he wasn't.
Wow.
But they have been bear in the camp.
Yeah. Yeah, what do you mean by camp?
Well, the town side.
The town.
Yeah, I remember a few when I was growing up.
Yeah.
So you helped build this town, really?
Huh?
You helped build this town.
Well, yeah, I was here whenever a lot of the houses, you see that house there now. No. All the houses on this row down to the other side of those bushes and all the way back except that two only. Then there's this house, that one, and the one across the street. Two across the street is concrete floors. Then they quit it.
And then they used wood?
Used wood.
Really? I would have thought it would have been the other way around.
Because, well, somebody come along with the idea that these windows would bust them up. I don't know if it ever did or not. I know one thing. In my garage up there, the garage shifts from the winter to the spring.
No. Look at that puppy dog.
Oh, it's like a little bear.
Yeah.
I think them people just moved in there.
Wasn't this the tree that had the bear in it?
Well, one of them right here, and maybe that little one there in front of Rob's house. I know it was on the lower side of the street. It's either that or one right the other side of his yard fence there.
We can see Rob and Jeannie later. Let's just go look at a walk.
Yeah. You know, there are different styles to the houses.
Well, a little bit.
How did they decide on that? Was it just sort of...
See, all the two-bedroom houses here is pretty much just alike. Now, that house there is just like the one we live in. And this one here, the only difference in that is there's a switch in where the kitchen and dining room is. And that's about the only difference in that. This house here, it's got the living room the dining room just inside the door, and to the left, where ours is at the back of the house, you see. Like this, there's a bedroom on the front, the living room on the front, and the other living room is on the back, and then kitchen and dinette is to our left there.
You know, a lot of the town reminds me, when you first drive in, it's kind of a German sort of
That is a little preschool over
Oh, yeah.
there. Now, the young couple that lives in that house there, their mother and daddy was raised here, and they was too.
Wow.
Who's that lives there?
Duffy
Oh, uh-huh.
and his wife, and they were both born here. I'm not positive if Duffy wasn't a little bitty boy whenever his people moved here. I'm not sure about that.
These houses here in the end seem to have a lot of different folks living in them at different times.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Are they one
This
bedroom?
this guy that lives right here, he's a timber faller, and he's always had exchange student from Japan or somewhere over there. Yeah, it is. And
Yeah.
I believe with all of my heart that I talked that boy out of life.
Really? They didn't have him on a chain or anything, huh?
Not at that time.
Oh, boy.
I was going down the hill right here, and that dog was laying up down on the other side of the house. And he didn't see me till I got even with him. Boy, I mean, he bounced right out in the road behind me, right behind me.
Yeah.
And was just ready to take me, I think, the way he looked. And I am positive that I talked that dog out of life. And I told him to go back up on the lawn, and he turned and went back up on the lawn, lay down. That instant he lay down, he jumped up and was right back out in the road behind me.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's a big son of a gun. He weighed 90 pounds.
Yeah. It's not even supposed to be that big, you know? They're supposed to be opposite size.
Next time I come down here,
Yeah.
I was just daring him to get me 6 foot up.
That's right.
I never seen the effects of that, but they tell me that it'll knock them out for about 20 minutes.
Yeah, I bet.
I walked down this hill one night.
Yeah. Yeah, he You know, Milton, when he was working in the sawmill for a while, stayed in those little bachelor houses.
Well,
What about for those built? For those children?
I'm down here at the church.
I don't remember if those are. What were those, Milton? Those that little bachelor place you stayed in?
Oh, that wasn't a bachelor place. It was a one-bedroom house.
Yeah, it was
Oh,
on
oh.
the other side of town.
Yeah. A lot like one of these.
Oh, I thought there was some.
There's
you
some
pointed out
cabins.
those green
Well, now,
things.
years and years ago, they was the very first houses that they built. They built the cook shack, which is the church now.
Uh huh.
And we must have been 8 or 10 little houses. Some 10 by 12 or something like that. 2 men stayed in there. Had a pot and a stove. And over at the cooktop, which is the church now.
So how long has the town been? Have they been out here starting things when you came out?
There was some people come here in 1937 and started the railroad and started the building of the powerhouse. And then in 38, they built the powerhouse. It's got the date on it. And started building the planer mill, putting down foundations for the planer mill and the sawmill. Whenever we got out here, why I helped push cement to build the kilns, dry kilns over there, and then helped with the pipe fitting in the powerhouse.
Now, what year was it you guys came out?
39.
39.
1939.
Wow. 62 years ago. Man. I've hardly ever walked them before.
Back in those days, and up until just a few years ago, everybody was real fussy with their lawns. They kept them up in top shape. Different people had different ideas about it.
Yeah, I remember along in the late 60s, things kind of went downhill for quite a while.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
Of course, you know, the economy was doing pretty good then, and they didn't have any problem finding workers, so there weren't the best of workers around here then either, were they?
Yeah. You heard me talk about old Uncle Judd Terrell.
Yeah.
He lived right there
This house here?
first, yeah.
Uh-huh.
He was the first one that ever lived in that house. And then on the next house there, Schatz was the first one that ever lived in that, Mr. Schatz, which was the sawmill superintendent, who I worked for a little better than 30 years.
Wow.
And I worked 7 or 8 years after he retired. Made me 40 years in the sawmill.